Good afternoon, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you from our digital desk. We're going to be taking you out here. This is a live picture coming out of Wayne County. There is a rather large crime scene that is developing. This is actually in the near community of West Salem. Let me show you a large picture here, a zoomed in picture. This is as close as our cameras and our crew are being allowed to get, but you can see a lot of flashing lights on this road. Again, it's about the 9,000 block of Congress Road in the area of West Salem. We're waiting to hear exactly what the details are here. We know that this may have started off as an incident with the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, but now the Ohio State Highway Patrol has been called in to help with the investigation. They are confirming that the Ohio State Highway Patrol is involved at this point, but we don't have a whole lot more than that. I can confirm that the Northwestern Local School District, that they have been put into a soft lockdown because of this. And for those of you who are not familiar, I want to, let me bring up this map just so we can show you exactly where we're talking about. You can see downtown Cleveland there. This crime scene is right where that red dot is, where that red marker. So again, quite a bit south and west of the city of Cleveland. You can see there is Akron. We'll put Akron in the middle of your screen, so we're talking even further west and south of Akron is where we're talking here. This is an extremely rural area. In fact, as you can see, that is just all farmland in that area. It looks like there might be that these are really just this is farmland in this area. And we're going to wait to get our shot back here. So we're going to wait to get our picture back here. But let me read the letter that went out to parents from the Northwestern Local Schools. The letter says, "Dear parents and guardians, we want to inform you that Northwestern Local Schools is currently in a soft lockdown due to a situation in the community." The letter goes on to say, "At this time, all students and staff are safe. Out of abundance of caution, access to and from our school buildings is temporarily restricted." Goes on to say, "We are actively working with the Sheriff's Department to follow their guidance. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and will provide updates as soon as more information becomes available and the situation is resolved." The letter continues by saying, again, "Please be assured that all students and staff are safe, and we will communicate any further updates as quickly as possible. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Sincerely, Northwestern Local Schools Administration." We're seeing a number of vehicles kind of come to and from this area. But again, this is as close as our crew has been told they can get to this situation. Very rural road. It looks like there is a home at approximately this area, even more first responders heading down to that scene. But at this point, that's really all we can tell you. There's information that has been put out over the scanners. We're not going to repeat that at this time because it could involve injuries, and we're going to hold off on that. So we want to make sure we get the most updated information. Seeing yet another vehicle there, that really looked like BCI, but we have heard from BCI that they are not involved in this. Even more tactical command center vehicles now headed to that area. And that's just really all we've got here. We're seeing more vehicles show up to that scene with lights on. I don't see them driving quickly. They're not, driving much more than what the speed limit, but now even more and more vehicles being led into that area. So this scene is quickly growing as we are live here. So what was just a few vehicles has now turned into what we've seen another 10 vehicles show up to this crime scene with various departments. That white truck kind of looked like BCI, the Bureau of Criminal Investigation, but we have been in contact with them earlier and they said that they had not yet been called. That could of course change. We know that BCI is generally called in when there is an incident involving first responders, whether they're deputies or police. If there's been a situation like that, we can potentially see crime scene there. I want to look at my map one more time, see if I can zoom down to show you exactly. So it looks like our camera has a cemetery right next to it. I wanted to see if I could find that on this map. Just stay with us as we continue to follow this. I believe that's a headstone just to the right. But I can't quite find that on the map we were looking at to get us down to a little bit more of a specific area. But this would be, this would be this direction. So let me see if I can, oh, I do. Okay. Here's, I'm going to go back to this map. If I see anything change on this live picture, we'll go to that. But I want to show you exactly where our camera is. Our camera is right at the corner of Congress Road and Pleasant Home Road. You can see there's a little cemetery right there, and right about where you see that 50, I can't see if that's 529. If that's the exact area that our camera is, I'm going to come down to street level and turn, and in fact it is. The area, we're going to head down the road here where this scene is. You can see that grove of trees that's coming up. That's exactly where this scene is, and we can see that looks like there's a home in this area. Let me go just a little bit further. There is the home in question. This is the driveway that investigators are in, where we see all the flashing lights. This is the exact home that's down that direction. So that just gives us a little bit of perspective. I don't really see anything else in the area. This is just extremely rural. And so we're not sure if maybe authorities were called to this home or what the original situation was, but we'll go back to our live pictures here. There is that home in the distance and a whole lot of first responders. We did just see that command vehicle go down there, a command center vehicle, as well as a number of what look like crime scene investigating trucks. They've got specialized equipment in those trucks, and that is in the area. Well, I'm going to pause here for a second to see if we can get an update. If you are just joining us on some of our digital streams now that our noon broadcast is finished, it looks like a couple of the photographers are going to maybe reposition a little bit in fact, I wanted to see if we can see these vehicles that are leaving. I wanted to see what these vehicles, that's a sheriff's department. Yeah, and so we're just going to give you a heads up here. I'll pull out of this shot just a little bit. Our photographer, our reporter in that area are just going to try and reposition a little bit, maybe get a little bit closer to the scene. So this is going to get a little unstable. Again, while she does that, let me go back to the map here that from Google Earth. There is a pond at this property. And you can see this is the home in question where the investigators are, where all the trucks and first responders are parked. So as we get a little bit closer with our shot, let me reset this. If you're just joining us, there is some sort of large crime scene, some sort of large investigation playing out in rural Wayne County. Technically, this is West Salem is the area. And there are a number of first responders. There have been some reports, some scanner traffic that we're trying to stay away from, but you don't see this level of investigators and crime scene and first responders. You don't see this level of issues or of individuals and manpower at a scene unless there may potentially be some sort of injury situation, but we're going to walk it just right to there. This is too large a scene for this to be just some regular incident. Catherine has our shot back, so we'll come back to this shot and see if we can get any better of an idea of what may or may not have happened. But yeah, first responders completely blocking this area in West Salem. We should also say that the Northwestern Local School District in this area has put their schools in a soft lockdown. They're just doing this as a precaution. They do not believe the students and staff are in any danger. But while this situation plays out, the school district felt it best to go into a soft lockdown that just doesn't allow anyone to come or go from any of their schools at this time. Again, I'm going to read from the letter from the Northwestern Local Schools Administration. The line says, again, please be assured that all students and staff are safe, and we will communicate any further updates as quickly as possible. So that's really what we have at this time, this large crime scene in West Salem. And so what we'll do is, now that we've given you this update, and this has been playing out for at least an hour now on this rural road. It's actually Congress Road. It's about the 9,000 block. And again, we see our photographer potentially trying to get to maybe a little bit better of a position here and situated and try and get information. We see another vehicle leaving the area, potentially get a look at that as yeah, we see that. Yeah, I wanted to see the back of that property to see if we see any lights or investigators further back in that property, but it does really seem to be concentrated on that home and right there in sort of the driveway area. And we can show you that on Google Maps here. This is the exact home and the driveway that we see investigators gathered around as they are trying to work through some of the issues. We do keep trying to communicate with the Sheriff's Department as well as the Ohio State Highway Patrol. And what she's saying is there's like you'll see the car. And that's where we're going to leave this. We're going to leave this shot up. As soon as we get new information, I will come back on with you if we can get anything new confirmed, or if we see perhaps an update from authorities, if they come out to the scene of where our cameras are to give us some updated information. And yeah, we're going to just leave this live picture up for the time being and see if we get any new information. As soon as we do, we'll jump back on here, but we're going to leave this live picture up because it does seem like a fairly active situation. So until we come back with new information, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Good afternoon, I'm Dan DeRose coming to you again from our live pictures out in Wayne County. We want to update this situation and wish we had more information for you, but what we can tell you is that, as you can see, this is clearly turned into a SWAT standoff situation. We see multiple properties involved here. There is the home that was there on the right-hand side that's involved in this, but then we have seen tactical vehicles and the SWAT team move into a field over to on the left side of the road. They are clearly searching now multiple properties for a suspect. Who that suspect is, what that suspect allegedly did, we don't have confirmed at this point. Our camera, apologies, is getting repositioned here. We're going to try and talk to our Catherine Huntley, who is live out there at the scene. And here we go, a little bit better of a shot. This is the area I'm talking about to the left of the screen, to the left of the street. We have seen SWAT members and police officials at a home off in that distance, and then the big SWAT vehicle is to the left. And I've been sort of trying to follow along, watching Google Earth or looking at Google Earth to some of the different properties that are involved here. And I'll try and give you an aerial shot of what we're looking here. This is out in rural Wayne County. Technically, the community is West Salem. And I'm going to see if I can get this angle turned around just so that we can, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that. So if we take a look at, and we've seen a couple of different vehicles and people walking up to the house. This is the first time we're really seeing any civilians or non-first responders heading up in that direction. Not sure what their role is in all of this, but again, you're seeing in that live picture, that's where the tactical vehicle has moved to. It showed up, it arrived about 20 minutes ago, and we saw the SWAT team load up in the back. So they are clearly hunting for someone in this rural area. There we see another vehicle joining that group out in that field. And that's really where we are at this point, is some sort of SWAT type situation. And what I'm going to do is try and show exactly where that is. I'm going to take you to Google Earth here. As I zoom out, where that red dot is the home and the driveway of where this kind of all started. Actually, this little area right here on Congress. And if you see this little green sort of pathway or road, that's where we've seen the SWAT vehicles move out into this area. There's a couple of different homes and farms in that area as they are clearly looking for someone. Because what started when we first started our live stream, approximately an hour ago, this was just maybe 10 vehicles, 10 first responders in that area, law enforcement, and it is probably close to 30 to 40 vehicles that are out there now. So if you're just joining us, this is in a very rural part of Wayne County. It's West Salem is kind of this area that's the community that's most nearby. There is clearly an individual that is hiding from authorities. We're not sure what started this all, why it looks like the county sheriffs were at that home, and then what transpired. But the level of law enforcement clearly leads us to believe that there was some sort of very critical incident that happened between the sheriff's department and whoever the suspect was in that area to now require SWAT to be brought out and just a whole host of law enforcement in this area. We've seen a number of different police departments, and if you look at that house in the background, the road over there, they've kind of got this whole area cordoned off. There are a couple of different wooded, I guess you could call them thickets. They're not large areas of woods, but it would be enough for someone to hide in potentially, and that could be what they're dealing with here. So we're going to stay on this. And I believe we're going to have our Catherine Huntley join us. So she's been out at that scene, really sort of working this for us. Catherine, are you there? Do you have me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dan. You got me?
Yeah, I do. Why don't you walk us through, because there are so few details that we've been able to confirm, just walk us through how large this scene has gotten and how it looks like it started at that house up on Congress Road, but now has devolved into some sort of search or standoff out there in that field.
Yeah, certainly a search. We see that there's a helicopter and a plane up in the air constantly circling. Obviously, like you said, looking for someone. But when I got here, I would say there was probably, maybe a dozen plus law enforcement. But even when I was driving here, I was another story about 20 minutes away. There were a couple of law enforcement that were flying up behind me trying to get here. But since I've been standing here, I've been here for over an hour. There have been so many law enforcement officers from so many different jurisdictions, Summit County, Worcester, Medina County, all coming to this scene to give some support. Now, just a little bit ago, maybe 10 minutes now, a very large, one of those armored SWAT vans came down the road, and now you can see it kind of down in that field there, down a road clearly. We did just see a couple of people walk down this road and are walking onto the field there. There's some farm equipment, people in the farm equipment that are talking to them. So we're trying to speak with them and see if they know any more about what's going on. But this is truly a massive scene. They have this whole area really cordoned off. We can't get down there. They were standing kind of near a cemetery here. They told us we couldn't go anywhere past that. But again, obviously something really critical happened here. We are working really hard to figure out exactly what it is and exactly who they are looking for. But right now, this helicopter I'm watching is sort of in one spot, kind of over this farm here to the left near where the SWAT is. So it would appear, hopefully, that they have located the individual, but now we'll see how long it is until they can get that person to cooperate. But we'll be here all afternoon. We'll let you know as soon as we know anything, Dan.
And Catherine, as far as, we've all covered, you and I have covered situations, unfortunately, like this a little too much. Sometimes we hear loudspeakers, sometimes flashbangs. Have you heard anything like that today?
Absolutely nothing like that, and it's a pretty quiet area. Again, as you can see, we're a ways away, but those speakers travel quite a distance. We cannot hear anything. I have not heard any instructions. Apart from the helicopter, it is completely silent out here, as you normally would get out in Wayne County, but it has been very quiet. But I'm listening for that, and yeah, typically in these situations, they will give people sort of directions to come out, what to do to make sure they can peacefully, give themselves up, but nothing at this point.
Okay. Yeah, Catherine, we're going to just stay with your shot here. Obviously, you're trying to gather some facts out there for us, and we appreciate that. But if you need to go and try and I guess that's what you're saying, unfortunately, you can't get near any officials to get any word.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems as though, so the road has been clear, but again, like officers were flying up and down this road, going extremely fast. And now it seems as though there's a white truck here on the left that's sort of been attempting to block the road as more neighbors and maybe people related to the scene are trying to get closer. So they made it very clear to us we could not go beyond this white fence we're standing behind. So obviously with an active scene, we're trying to be safe. But as soon as we can move up, we definitely will be doing that too.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Catherine Huntley reporting for us out there in Wayne County. Catherine, we appreciate it. We'll stay with your shot, though, so make sure Mike, your photographer, keeps that up. Again, I'm going to reset the scene for you here for the last definitely more than an hour plus now. The Wayne County Sheriff's Department has been at this scene. It is technically West Salem is the nearest community, and there we see yet another SWAT member running up to that area. They used that as sort of a staging area. We saw that big tactical vehicle pull up about 20-30 minutes ago. The SWAT members that were there at the scene at the time loaded into that and then pulled off left down into this field. But we really saw this incident. It sort of started, and to the right of this camera position, there is a driveway and a home. And we know that we saw some crime scene tape up earlier off to the right, but now the focus seems to be in that field to the left of this shot, where we have seen the SWAT vehicle move into that position. Catherine Huntley reporting that she has seen local authorities with a helicopter, possibly even the Ohio State Highway Patrol. They have a plane that helps them out in certain situations, a Cessna that can fly around and observe things from the air. And we believe that has also been of use out there. We will keep this shot up. Hopefully, as soon as we get any new information, if we see sort of SWAT move in, or again, generally you'll hear flashbangs to disorient whoever they're having a standoff with, and see if they can move in and take them that way. But we haven't seen any of that yet. But if we do, if we see a lot of commotion, I'll jump back on here with you, but we will leave this live picture up. And for now, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News.
Hey, you called? Okay, great. Thanks.
go closer?
Get closer
Can
to
we?
around that barn.
We might as well try, I guess.
All they can do is tell us we're not missing anything here.
Walk down?
Yeah, they're walking.
Like a smoke guy.
Okay, we're still streaming, but
Whatever. Do what we need.
we're in charge of the mic.
Got it. I'm leaving my camera.
We're all going to try and move closer. Sorry.
Were you here when you told us nowhere past the white fence? Yeah. Okay, great. I just want to make sure I didn't totally make it. I guess we could try. All the time. I don't want to have to explain how I
We'll
lost
save
all my
that for
gear.
in case they get shot at.
Decided that you're going to make a move, or did they say anyone
Nobody said anything, but
Yeah, I don't. They said right out by the press.
Oh.
it would help if you would share that.
I didn't. That's
You notice he's on his own. Or I'm on my.
Yeah, that's literally what I was told. Whatever.
They're only live. So that's why Ryan grabbed him. To find out like how it was 4 and 5. They told him that. Assuming he was with them. So what I saw on the is that like little building there, that's like a shed. Yeah. But it's kind of like in a hole.
Yeah, it goes. There's a huge gym there.
Sir.
Because I think that the big thing is the SWAT truck, right?
Yeah. So I saw them bring a ladder over to the door,
Yeah.
And
I saw him
then-
getting the ladder off of something.
and then they pulled it back. So I was assuming that he might be in the lofted area of that barn. And they were going to try to get him out. Oh, they got the ladder up now.
Is it that little
Yeah, way on
house
in the
down
back.
there?
Anybody check out Facebook? He said he did a live interview on there.
Yeah.
So it's true then. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he went live on there talking from where he is right now.
That's great. That's really great.
Actually, a little longer to zoom on this thing.
I'll go up for a recon and see what's going on over there. had his hands up.
Did he come out?
We live in Worcester.
I listen very closely. I've been
He's on the roof.
I actually caught
In the back, right by the ladder. So if you zoom in on the ladder,
Oh, I see something back there, yeah. Yeah, there is a guy standing right at the left of the ladder. Yeah. I can see him. Just left it.
curiosity is going to get the better of me.
he's like he's doing a live thing.
And originally I heard it was two dead ones. I had originally heard it was two dead ones.
Hey guys, he's on the roof, and it looks like he's talking on Facebook. So if you can get to that Facebook page, you might be seeing something. He's I think he's coming down. He might be coming down. No, not yet.
He's up on the roof.
Yeah, he's talking to somebody.
He's coming down.
Dan DeRose with 19 News. We're watching a little bit of a development here. This appears to be the suspect that they have had this search for. He's coming down that ladder. We saw SWAT a little bit earlier take that ladder back to this. I don't know if that's just a very, very small home or a very, very large shed. But we just saw what we believe is the suspect giving up, coming down that ladder here in Wayne County. There have been some social media posts by the suspect, the alleged suspect. We're not going to show those posts because we haven't gotten them confirmed, but the man in those posts looked very similar to that, didn't have a shirt on, had a long ponytail. So it looks like this may have come to some sort of conclusion, or at least the suspect here may have just given up by coming down the ladder from that. Again, I'm not sure, just based on the scale, if that's a house or a little ladder. What I can do is, and we're going to stay on this shot because this appears to have just wrapped up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on that. I'm going to show you on Google Maps, but I want to wait because, and it does look like we see the authorities moving back towards some of their SWAT vehicles there. So this does appear to have come to some sort of conclusion. It looks like the suspect may have done the right thing and given himself up. How he got on top of that building, we're not sure. But it definitely looks like
He's right by the SWAT truck right now.
that this individual has perhaps given up or turned himself in. The question still remains, and we're waiting to get confirmation reports as we now see the fire department truck move up. The question remains, what started all of this? And we're waiting to get that confirmed, but it may involve injuries to law enforcement. So we're going to wait and get confirmation on that. But it does appear that the suspect has just given up in this situation, and this is the first time now that we're seeing some of the vehicles move away from the scene, now driving from the left side of your screen to the right, as it does appear that this has come to a conclusion. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to see if we're going to get our Catherine Huntley, who's live at the scene out there. We're going to get her back on live with us because she's been watching this scene unfold. And again, this is the first time we're seeing law enforcement move away from that little home. So now that we have a little bit of a break, I'm going to pull up the map here. If I see anything else happen here, we'll obviously come back. But I want to show you on this map. Now that red dot that you see, that was the start of all of this sort of property here right by the 329, if that's what that says. But I want you to pay attention to this dirt road, the straight one, not the curved green one, but that dirt road, kind of a path, leads back to this little tiny, again, there is an address on it according to Google Maps. So that makes me wonder if this is in fact just an extremely small home. And then you can kind of see maybe a building or a shed on the back side of that thing. But that is where we just saw the suspect climb down the ladder. So whatever started on the other side of the road in this area has ended on the other side at that little, kind of had a spire on top of it, a little tiny home or a large shed there at the top. So, and we're going to work on getting that video turned around of what it appeared to be the suspect giving up, the person that was involved in this standoff for the better part of the last hour and a half, going on 2 hours. But again, we have not gotten confirmation on what started all of this, but to have this mass of a presence, to have this many law enforcement from so many different agencies. We saw earlier the Ohio State Highway Patrol helicopter actually get really low to the ground. In fact, I believe it landed. I've never actually seen that before. And they were also using the Ohio State Highway Patrol plane that was up and above. And again, we're seeing that first squad car pull out of there that was just pulling off to the right. I wonder if that's the vehicle the suspect is in. But they did have quite a presence out there with SWAT and the Ohio State Highway Patrol, the Wayne County Sheriff's Department, and others. But the question is, the suspect that just gave up could actually be in really any of those vehicles, so it's going to be tough to tell as they come by. But I guess for now, the small positive is that this appears to be over, and it appeared to end without any, didn't sound like any gunshots, didn't appear to be any, they didn't have to charge that building and putting law enforcement in danger, putting the suspect in danger. It appears the suspect may have done the right thing and given up. Again, there have been some social media posts by a man that appears to be the suspect in all of this. We're not going to play any of that until we get confirmation on the suspect, but he was indicating that he was involved in this situation and that he was hiding in a shed. And so that's why it makes me wonder if that little building there to the left, as we see now a number of the authorities and their vehicles coming out from that area. But again, this appears to have ended peacefully. We saw that suspect, and we're getting that video turned around. We're going to get to that as soon as we can. We'll show you him sort of giving up. I believe we have Catherine Huntley is back with us. Catherine, do you have me there? Doesn't look like we quite have Catherine Huntley, our reporter, just yet. As soon as she jumps in, she'll be able to walk us a little bit better. She's got the eyes on the ground, but it does appear that...
Hey, Dan, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Catherine, it appears that this is over, and you folks did some incredible work out there. It appears that he just gave up.
Yeah, it looks like he got on top of that shed, actually, and they were able to put a ladder out for him to climb down the ladder. And we believe it's over now, and then he has to sort of face whatever is coming to him after this extremely large police presence and whatever he did, which we're still trying to confirm. After he got down, it appeared as though he was being hosed off or doused with something, or hosed off in some sort of way. So we're not sure why that exactly is, but we're working to confirm that as well. But yeah, Good news is it appears this has been done peacefully. We did not hear any sort of loudspeaker or anything, but good news here so far that everything appears to be done peacefully, Dan.
And Catherine, you can confirm no gunshots, no flashbangs, no loud noises, nothing like that.
Absolutely not. Nothing like that. It's actually the helicopter landed and then took off, and it's virtually completely silent out here, and we heard nothing of the sort. Really, no loud noises, no yelling, as far as we can tell.
Excellent. As you said, that is the good news. Now the confirmation of what started all of this, to have this kind of presence, to get this level of SWAT, an Ohio State Highway Patrol helicopter landing at that scene, that tells us that this is more than just your routine, maybe warrant that was being served. This has all the earmarkings of perhaps an attempt on injuring a deputy, but it definitely has all of that. And we do now have the video of the suspect giving up. Let me play this for you now. Here is the exact moment that you see him on the back of whatever that shed or that building or small residence. It does technically have an address on Google Earth, but there is the suspect standing on the back. I did see earlier when SWAT got out that ladder, they were on the road and they quickly got it to this location. But you do see him communicating on the back of that building. He's making some arm gestures. The ladder's been put in place. And I'm sure there was a bit of negotiating going on here, wanting this to end peacefully, making sure he didn't have any weapons. And eventually he does surrender. He did sort of just show up, and then he does make his way over to the ladder. Again, more hand motions, basically looking, perhaps telling the deputies, the SWAT team, to move away from that ladder. But he does eventually come down. This is some incredible work by our photographer, Mike Brown and Catherine Huntley, out there to not miss this moment when there's so much going on out on the road. And you see here coming down the ladder, and it was shortly after that, literally within 30, 40 seconds, that you started to see deputies and SWAT leave that area. So it did not take very long for that to happen, and what looks like peaceful surrender. Again, now live back out there at the scene. We're still needing confirmation, and we're hoping that perhaps there will be an update given here on scene. What I'm going to do is, Catherine, if you're still with me, I want you to, and she's not. Oh, you are still there. I think what we need.
I am, yeah.
Yeah, Catherine, I think what we need here is, I think you guys can push that scene now that it appears to be over, and see if we can get an update here before our 3 o'clock. So incredible work out there. Do you have anything else to add before we cut you loose?
The only thing is I spoke to a bunch of neighbors who said that they had police come by, told them to search their properties, because originally they had no idea where this gentleman was. They were looking far down the road, barns, knocking on doors. So it's a good thing they were able to find him so quickly. Also, friends of this guy realized that it was him. And they actually came to the scene to see if they could be any assistance of the police in getting him out of there peacefully, but not sure if they were able to. But the good news is that it seems this has been wrapped up peacefully. But Dan, we're going to try to walk down here and see what we can get.
Excellent. That's what we'll do. Great work out there. If you do get an update, we'll obviously take that live, but we'll let you move ahead on that area. Catherine Huntley reporting live for us there in Wayne County. What we'll do here is, as this camera position is going to move, our photographer and our reporter are going to more than likely head up to this area and see if they can get an update from the authorities. But we'll keep this up live for now. We do have our 3 o'clock news coming at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. And we'll obviously have the very latest at the top of of the show there, but we will try and see if we can get any information from authorities here in the next roughly 50 minutes. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. We'll see you in just a bit.
I just want to double check. Always got to make sure.
Cool.
Thank
They
you.
do an interview? They're not done?
No, they like got distracted. You have your mic?
Yeah, I got it.
Is this the?
No, if it looked like there was a female sheriff's deputy that was driving. So.
You said that's gonna be a deputy sheriff?
Yeah. No, it's the chief deputy Joseph.
Let me see.
Tinted windows.
It started to when I came home out of prison. I didn't know what to do. Trying to readapt to society was really hard.
Where do you work now?
I work for myself laying concrete and remodeling homes. It is. But it pays the bills. Yeah, I can't really do much anything else.
You know him?
Tattoos all
So
over
that's
me.
why we're trying to get him, but he was down there trying to see if he could hook them anyway. But
Rookie manager.
I'm sorry to hear that. They got him.
got him.
Yep, yeah, you got him safe and sound.
Would you be willing to chat with the news?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I'm all right with
You're
that.
amazing. I think we're all going to talk to you about that.
All right.
We'll do it all at once.
Dan DeRose with 19 News. It appears that some of the individuals that showed up maybe to help in this situation are about to talk with our Catherine Huntley about what they saw, but they did just say they got him and that he's safe and sound. So let's listen into this interview. And we also may be hearing from the deputy sheriff in all of this. So let's take a listen to this interview. This could be interesting information here.
The lights are, yep.
One, two.
No,
My cousin's on the
nope,
SWAT
down
team.
here.
But he never got the gas lit then.
No,
Good.
no lighter, I guess.
Did he?
good.
He did put gas on himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that the kid and drugs took his life over really bad, and hopefully just get some help.
Oh, so you know this?
Yes, I know Cody very well. I've known him.
You have me? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I do. And I was trying to get the cops to let me talk to him, but they wouldn't let me. But I'm glad that he didn't play death by the cops. That was my biggest fear.
So are you okay if we ask you a couple quick questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, just 1 second, guys.
What was your name?
It's Frank.
Okay, here, you can come on up here. Yeah, it's just real comfortable. Yeah, don't be
Brent, did you say?
Yeah,
Hold on,
Frank.
we're not ready yet.
Go ahead.
Ben?
Check 1, 2.
Am I supposed to hold it?
You
All
can
right,
just go in the middle here.
B-R-E-N-T?
Yes,
You said your last name.
it's Jones.
Okay. And you were talking about Cody, but is his name Chad, or what's his name?
Yeah, we've called him Cody, but his name's Chad. We've called him that since we were kids. But he just went off his rocker, and I guess he stabbed 2 cops, our sheriffs and deputies, and he, chose the life of drugs. It took his life over, and hopefully this will actually change. They get him help, and concerns me.
How long have you known him?
Since I was just, I'd say about 6 years old. We've grown up in Worcester together.
Why did you come down here today?
Because I didn't want to see him be killed. I wanted to at least try to talk to him, but they wouldn't let me.
What were you trying to do? Talk to him?
Yeah,
Can
talk
you
to him.
explain that a little bit?
To get him to come out and turn himself in, so he wasn't, try to kill himself or, play death by cop. That was my biggest concern.
You never got that chance? though,
No.
right? Okay.
No, but they got him safely, so is a good thing.
What emotions do you feel when you hear that, he is safely in custody?
I feel more comfortable, more safer for him, and relaxed. I'm not as distressed as I was because I was freaking out. I drove all the way from Worcester. I just woke up like 2 hours ago to come all the way out here to figure out everything that was going on. My brother woke me up, and yeah, it was a scary thought.
What are your thoughts about what he allegedly did, stabbing the sheriff and
That's pretty messed up, but drugs will, just destroy your life. I've watched all my friends, growing up around here in Worcester, it's drug central, all of my friends have died or fallen apart from drugs, they have nothing better else to do to pass the time, so they do drugs, and then you watch them fall apart.
But do you have any sympathy for the officers in this?
Yes, I do. I feel for them, I don't wish upon anybody to be stabbed. It sucks. And I hope they're all right and safe and not that badly hurt.
Does that surprise you that that's something your friend would do?
Yeah. Since he's been on drugs, he hasn't been right.
What's something that you want anyone watching this to know about him?
He's a good, loving person, very kind-hearted, very religion into his, Jesus and God. I have my own religion, so I don't judge. But very nice, lovable person.
And how would you, if you were talking to someone on the phone later, describing the scene here, what words come to mind?
Pretty much just speechless. This is the last thing I'd ever thought I'd get a phone call that he would do.
He was in prison for a while as well?
I'm not for sure if he's ever been in prison or I know he's been in jail numerous times.
Thank you, Brent.
Do you
You're
know what
welcome.
he was doing around here? Did he live over there? Did he move?
I don't know what he was doing out here. Like, really, to be honest, I have no idea.
How did you know to come here?
It was on the scanner.
And then you noticed it was him?
Yeah, when they said his name and in his Facebook page, he was live. My brother woke me up to show me because I've known him since I was little. So, I was concerned about him. But now at least he'll be able to get some help.
Thanks so much, Brent. We really appreciate it.
Dan DeRosa with 19 News. A lot of that is unconfirmed, obviously just happening live, but it does sort of put together some of the pieces that we've been dealing with today. It does appear that the suspect in this situation was Chad Palmer. You heard from his friend since 6 or 7 years old that they called him Cody, but that apparently there was some situation in which he may have stabbed, and again, this is unconfirmed, but according to his friend, that he may have stabbed a couple of the authorities that were out there today, and that's what led to a standoff. You heard his friend say that unfortunately he's been having issues with drugs, and that may have been what led to all of this, and that he hopes now that Mr. Palmer can get some help in this situation. Fortunately, it ended peacefully, and there was some talk before that interview. I'm not sure if you heard that would be consistent with what we heard from Catherine Huntley, that after he came down, that they did spray him off or wash himself off. There were reports, and we heard him say that he had poured gasoline on himself, but fortunately did not light himself on fire. So that is the positive side of things. I think what we'll do is we will wrap this up, although we were expecting to hear from the deputy chief out there to get an update. And I think what we'll do is we'll wait and make sure that some of these vehicles approaching our crew isn't somebody with the department that can give us an update here, as we see more and more of the vehicles now pulling away, first responders done with this scene. But the question remains, were in fact, we're trying to get confirmation, but it's what we've been hearing through scanner traffic, which we didn't want to report, but now it appears that we're getting closer to that confirmation that 2 law enforcement may have been injured at the beginning of all of this and what led to this massive standoff. Doesn't look like we're going to get that update at this moment. So I think what we'll do is we'll sign this off since this standoff is at an end, and highly encourage you to tune in at 3 o'clock on Channel 19 because if we get the update between then and now, we will bring that to you in our 3 o'clock news. Until then, I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Hope you have a good afternoon. Weather people, wait, click here to connect. Okay. Hi, Erica, you have me? Hi, Erica, this is Dan. Are you there?
Hello. Yep, I'm here.
Sorry about that. We just wrapped up our 2-hour standoff.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun for 2 hours.